begin today. Cheng and Yitong's legends entered the recording bunch. The maker contributed 300 million. As of late, it is actually the pinnacle season for recording. Recently, Wang Yibo and Li Qin joined the recording of The Way to Splendor. Today, another Desires of Legends was sent off in Hengdian to petition God for favors, and the shooting will begin straightforwardly on January 9th. This is an old ensemble hand-to-hand fighting show featuring Cheng Yi, Li Yitong, Wang Qianlong, Zhao Liying, Zhang Yuqin, and so forth. Beforehand, there were many tales about the featuring job and the initial time, however it was fundamentally obvious. At the scene today, Cheng Yi showed up in a serene dark down coat, which streaked in the video. New job, new beginning stage. Maybe since Li Yitong's abdication, Wu Zhangji featuring Ren Jilin has been contrasted in Legends, and it was likewise sent off a couple of days prior. As of late, Ren Jilin fans addressed whether Legends will utilize old ensembles, yet the maker out of the blue emerged to retaliate. He said that he underrated Zijin organization. Could he involve old garments for a film with a speculation of 300 million? Practice your English well and return to dark. So is this flood of Cheng Yi overwhelming Ren Jilin in a corner? Sibling Guacheo's Wu Zhangji is truly just quiet. 3 major creations worth north of 100 million yuan, with a rich and strong appearance, appear to be preferable over Wu Zhangji. The two of them are specialists under Huanru Century, however it's difficult to say who will be the primary sibling later on. Reviewing Zijin's theatrics in those days, it was at that point a decade prior, Gone with the Breeze and Gone with the Fire, so we should improve it and pick up the pace. Taking a gander at the location of the set, it is still somewhat re-established to the time in the Ming Line, however the scene is still a piece chaotic, and it ought to be nearly tidied up tomorrow. The primary entertainers are fundamentally all set up. Li Yitong's IP area shows Beijing, yet I'm additionally in Hengdian today, however I'm recording the theatrical presentation in the Scrapeness class. Members incorporate Shen Yu, Sui Zhao, Zhou Jiqiang, Zhang Yuqin, Zhao Yangzi, Li Yitong, Li Zhiding, Li Yaowen, Rong Zishan, Fan Shiki, Guo Ziyading, Hu and different craftsmen who pushed their bags to work. It appears to be that tomorrow Li Yitong and Zhang Yuqin will actually want to move to the group to work. Zhao Shinayo completed work early today, and posted on Weibo that he would go to Hengdian soon. It appears to be that he will be there today, and he is anticipating it. As a rule, congrats to Cheng Yi and others for the fruitful send-off of the outfit show Legends today. Anticipating the new jobs they play, with Chief Yang around, we can in any case have assumptions. What is your take? 02. Liu Yifei's new dramatization to a busy spot doesn't utilize a channel to show kinks and packs under the eyes, and Zhao Liying's The Breeze Blows Pinellia got a similar commendation. Pixie sister Liu Yifei and Li Xian featured in the new Menning show go to a busy spot, which is the principal enormous opening show in 2023. It won the Maoyan prevalence list only 2 days after its transmission. As of now, the principal wave of verbal exchange assessments has been delivered. Despite the fact that Liu Yifei looks old and has clearly put on weight, she has won the help of numerous crowds. They feel that she is equivalent to Zhao Liying in The Breeze Blows Pinellia, and she can perform well simply by tossing her pack. To a blustery spot just began circulating on January 3rd, and it beat Tan Songyan and Wang Kai's Strolling to the Breeze and Liu Zui's Childhood Melodies in 2 dramatizations in the span of 2 days of broadcasting, and straightforwardly won the Maoyan prevalence list champion. The evaluations are extraordinary, yet in addition the main rush of verbal exchange acclaim, the majority of which are 4-star and 5-star high assessment. The story depicts Shu Huangdao, played by Li Yifei, who went to Dali, Yunnan alone to encounter a progression of recuperating processes because of the box in his life. The wonderful and pleasant Yunnan introduced in the play, along with the extraordinary appearance of every entertainer, in addition to the regular competition between Li Yifei and Li Xian, the play can be supposed to be delightful in view and lovely face-to-face. In any case, Liu Yifei has a horrendous body for enrolling hoodlums. Normally, there are numerous 1-star negative surveys, basically for the sluggish speed of the plot, Liu Yifei's swelling, and unfortunate acting lines. Nonetheless, numerous netizens imagine that these are too dull to be in any way persuading. Full stop. Certain individuals imagine that the speed of To a Busy Spot is excessively sluggish, and the plot wears out even consider following. They should go to a theatrical presentation unscripted TV drama. However, most netizens believe that this show takes the course of otherworldly recuperating, and the plot is in serious areas of strength for especially logical inconsistencies and clashes in the show are to introduce the everyday existence, and some netizens obtusely said, to watch a high-speed canine blood dramatization, go, I love this uncommon mending warmth, concerning. the lines and acting abilities, Liu Yifei shut up harshly after only 2 scenes of separating and crying. The cycle from chuckling to keeping down tears and crying deplorably can be supposed to be finished in one go, and the other is crying in obscurity until destroying. The heart was broken, and the 2 crying scenes cried at various levels, which likewise made the crowd cry. Be that as it may, the absolute most brutal assault by netizens was focused on Liu Yifei's figure and appearance. To a blustery spot isn't similar to mannequin shows that put on skin improving channels, and there is no meticulous altering in after creation. It loyally presents the presence of the entertainers, and, surprisingly, the temple lines of the main entertainer Li Xian are plainly apparent. In some nearby shots of Liu Yifei, you can obviously see her eye packs and nasolabial folds, the drooping side face, even the 2-fold jawline is approaching, and little barely recognizable differences show up around her mouth when she makes demeanors. The full body shot additionally showed her sexy legs, and clearly she was fatter and more established than previously. In any case, Liu Yifei's skin quality is great. Considerably under the nearby focal point without channels, there are no little flaws like skin inflammation and skin inflammation. Going against the norm, the skin is wet and fair, and even gleams a bit. Nonetheless, numerous netizens discredited the negative remarks about her appearance, feeling that in the play, she is a 35-year elderly person who is occupied with life. It is typical for such a way of life to have such a figure and appearance, however it makes the crowd more engaged with the play. Certain individuals analyze Liu Yifei and Zhao Liying's status in the Wind Blows Pinellia. In spite of the fact that Zhao Liying has lost her past juvenileness and her eyes are loaded with ice axe and kinks, she is more ready to play the picture of a female business person who is focused. Some netizens even obtusely said the pixie my sister was truly lovely at her pinnacle, however it likewise restricted her approach to acting somewhat, and she could go about as a wonder. In actuality, presently she has less non-common pixie soul and more firecrackers, so she can play out this sort of life show better. 03. Hero, is the adoration in a fantasy preposterous? 32-year-old Liu Zuai demanded acting 17-year-old Wu Xin satisfying to the eye. As of late, I was pursuing youth melodiesing, and I heard an exceptionally preposterous word called love, hair loss and dreams. As the name proposes, this is the very thing that numerous female crowds use to portray a priest, which is what we frequently say. Before I didn't genuinely follow the show, my inclination was something similar. Is the ongoing female crowd style so ludicrous? Such rebellious titles have emerged. How attractive is this priest? And supposedly, this is a 17-year-old priest played by a 32-year-old entertainer. Previously, this sort of youthful entertainer being suffocated half to death by saliva is fortunate not. Things these days are truly crazy and peculiar. What's more, it's valid when Liu Zuai's Wuxin just emerged, on the grounds that age is an obstacle that can be passed, regardless of how channels are added or how to make up. They can't conceal the kinks on Wuxin's temple when the camera zooms in. All things considered, Wuxin is the primary person of youthful tunesing. The person is plainly a 17-year-old virtuoso kid, and he is excellent looking. In the event that Liu Zuai is around 5 years more youthful, he is most certainly the best Wuxin. The applicant was chosen in light of the fact that Liu Zuai was chastened pitiably when the transmission initially began. Frankly, even I was not hopeful about this Liu Zuai toward the start, since I generally detested this sort of professing to be delicate. However, I didn't expect that this time I was truly off base. In the wake of pursuing every one of the plots of youth tunesing in one day, I feel somewhat incomplete. I love the first work. I'm exceptionally happy with the level of reclamation of this show. As far as battling, one might say that it is the best combative techniques show in the beyond 5 years. They are all around positioned, and the enhancements are faultless. Just the projecting is the greatest blemish of this show. The projecting of the fundamental characters, for example, Zio Set and Jinluo are a long way from the first picture. However, all things considered, the demonstrating of the movement is excessively great, which is justifiable. It's difficult to envision that the job of Wuxin has the greatest contrast among entertainers and characters, paying little heed to progress in years or appearance, yet presently it appears to be that it has the most significant level of by and large reclamation. The greatest variable lies in acting. The Wuxin played by Liu Zuai is truly, impeccably re-establishing the articulation, developments, habits, and so on of the little priest Wuxin, and Liu Zuai's naming is very much chosen. It can nearly be supposed to be the naming with the greatest cost in the naming business, and it is named by Jita himself of. Obviously, there are a huge number of male divine beings in film and TV, a big part of which are voiced by Jita. The lively energy of the young fellow is likewise reasoned. In the new plot, there is a scene where Wuxin saves Zuai's sword Pixie Li Hanai. Around then, Li Hanai fell into a devil. Wuxin previously attempted to recite a spell to save Li Hanai, and afterward found that he had been screwed with this thing for a really long time, and everything he had learned were gone. I returned it to dominate. Wang Yao was stunned. Then, at that point, he unexpectedly played out a bunch of repressing evil presence clench hand to awaken Li Hanai, and subsequent to completing the beating, he said fiendishly, "Now is the ideal time to tap out." Frankly, despite the fact that it was performed by a man in his 30s, he did communicate the unique sensation of a young fellow, which is very hard to accomplish. Obviously, for entertainers of the right age, it is easy to do this, yet in certain spots it is extremely challenging. All things considered, it is challenging for youthful entertainers to have any acting abilities, particularly in the part where Wuxin rises above stresses. Hanshu Sanctuary Wuxin sees expert again soul. The feelings that ejected at that point, the tears, were truly tragic. In this crying scene, there are certainly just a modest bunch of entertainers in their 20s who can make it happen. There are a great many roots on the planet, yet acting is the most moving. So I need to say that occasionally being more seasoned truly has the advantages of being more seasoned. Essentially, the acting abilities are ensured, and the crowd will appear to be exceptionally involved, very much like the unexpected plots are turning out to be less and less often. Be that as it may, youth Toonzing isn't great looking, and it feels a ton more regrettable than previously. Along these lines, this young Toonzing is truly indistinguishable from this fantasy love bear. What do you all suppose?